All right, everyone, this is Tony Reeves. You're probably figuring, like, what the hell are you doing? I'm gonna try to do something that looks like cooking. Know what I said looks like, but give me something right on this one. But before I do, I wanted to take a second to kind of talk to you about my 5 things in terms of the 5 things that I would like to change about myself in order to adapt to this new world. Again, we're gonna go to my book here because I can't, I'm getting a little older, so I can't remember all this stuff. So ride with me. First thing I want to work on is adapting quicker. When I had my own law firm, I was still holding on to a lot of the old ways of doing things. I was still holding on to paper when the world was moving paperless. I was still holding on to brick and mortar when the move was moving towards virtual. And fortunately, I had people in my life who were like, listen, I need you to get right. This is the way we're moving. We want you to move in that direction. And so what happens is every time you have a change, especially one that you're not prepared for, there's a natural resistance to hold on to the things you're most comfortable with. So one of the things I'm trying to work better, that I'm trying to do better is to adapt quicker to the changes as they present themselves. Oh, one thing, talk to those who've adapted to the change. I'm gonna tell you, when I ran my firm, one of the biggest problems that I had is that I got so set in my own ways that even when people were telling me about certain things I should change, I would just go ahead and make my own changes based on what I thought was best, but I wouldn't talk to people who actually had adopted those changes. Why is that important? Well, because this way I could talk to them and take advantage of their expertise. They could tell me what they did wrong, or more importantly, things that I could use as shortcuts to help me learn and adapt to these changes quicker. I can't tell you the number of times that I held on to this whole notion of doing things a particular way longer than they should have. So one of the things that I want to do and change about is about myself is just be more proactive about talking to those people who have already made the adaptation. Number 3, don't get overwhelmed. One of the things that I found when I was running my law firm and I was going from becoming a brick and mortar to a virtual is that all this information was coming at me at 100 miles an hour. We're having that happen now, where we're having all these changes in terms of doing things, whether they be Zoom, group meetings, online, dealing with various organizations and so forth in different ways. It's all being thrust upon us all at once. And there's a natural inclination to get overwhelmed. And I ain't gonna lie, for me, it's easy because it's like I get sensory overload. And so what ends up happening with me is that it's not that I get overwhelmed that I can't do it. I try to do it all. And so my biggest thing working is that knowing that all this change is coming, just calm it down a second and recognize and just not get overwhelmed. Number 4, trusting that I'm not going to lose anything. One of the hardest parts about change is that we hold on so tight to the things that we're comfortable doing that when change forces us to have to adapt, we worry that, that if we abandon those skills that we had before, that we may need them again. And that if we go to the change, we'll forget about those things that we had before. But for the most part, don't freaking worry about it. And that's what I'm working on for me, is making sure I trust that I'm not going to lose any of those skills that I've acquired. Number 5, use, improve, maximize. I will tell you that when my friend was helping me move to becoming a virtual law firm, he kept telling me that so many different doors were going to open for me because the fact that I was using new technology, which was going to improve how I provided my service and gave me the ability to maximize everything. We've got a lot of change coming our way, and it's gonna sound freaky, wild. It was gonna push us in ways we probably weren't ready to move towards to begin with. But trust, everything is going to be okay. You're not going to lose anything. You always have those skill sets you can rely upon. And most importantly, be excited. Because change may be a little painful, but it can also be progressively beneficial. Gotta stop talking. Gotta go look. Gotta try to do something that looks like cooking right now. Know what I say? Looks like. Deuces.